Okay, welcome to our Wednesday night team call. I'm super excited to have these going every week. Today is October 4th. Yes, our first official weekly team call. So I'm super excited. I'm gonna screen share and we're just gonna jump right into it. Okay, so tonight we're gonna talk about goal setting, and I can't see you guys on the side. So Kelsey, if question pops up or something, shoot me a text, or I can, and then I'll minimize it and come back to you guys. But at the moment, I cannot see you guys for some reason. But so, okay, goal setting, getting back to the basics. So I just want to do a quick Success Club overview. I know you on the call, you kind of know, but if someone's watching this recording, that's totally fine. Just so you have an idea of what Success Club is. So there are two categories, Success Club 5 and Success Club 10. Success Club 5, you need 5 to 9 Success Club points, and you need 90 PV on HD. That means 90 in personal volume on Home Direct. So if you have Shakeology on auto ship, that gets you 90 PV on Home Direct. But you need both in order to actually qualify for it. You can't just have the Success Club points or just have Shakeology. You need both in order to qualify for Success Club 5. Success Club 10 or more Success Club points, and 90 PV on HD. So same thing, just 10 or more Success Club points. But you do have to have both in order to actually qualify for Success Club. How to earn Success Club points. Shakeology, if you get new customers signed up with Shakeology on Home Direct, that's 2 Success Club points. If they just do Shakeology and they choose the one time only, you do not get Success Club points for that. So keep that in mind. And then also it's a little bit cheaper. I think it's like $6 cheaper with shipping or something if they do it on Home Direct, and they can always cancel it later if they don't want to keep getting it. So that helps you and it helps them if they want to keep getting it as well. The other way to get Success Club points is with a challenge pack. So any program plus Shakeology is a challenge pack. Now I only offer the All Access Pass, which is Beachbody On Demand All Access Pass, and the Shakeology Challenge Pack. One challenge pack, you get 2 Success Club points. So those are the 2 ways that you get Success Club points, is with the challenge pack and with Shakeology. The benefits of hitting Success Club 10 are you're helping more people, you're changing more lives. The more people you help, the more commission you get. And then also a really big one financially, if you hit Success Club 10 this month, then the following month, Beachbody gives you free customers. This is the Leads program. So when people go to beachbody.com on their own without talking to a coach and just sign up that way, they, go in order, whatever, and hand out these free customers to you so you can get commission off of these people for hitting Success Club 10 the previous month. So those are the benefits of hitting Success Club 10 versus Success Club 5. Okay. A couple of the vitals that I want to quick talk about before we really jump into it is commit to a program. If you are not committed to a program, I know so many people have gym memberships, which is totally fine to have a gym membership, but you're not selling gym memberships. So if you're going to the gym and you bring Beachbody On Demand from your phone with you, that's fine. Or maybe you're in between programs and you go to the gym to kind of change it up a little bit, that's fine too. But if you have not yet committed and completed a program, that's your first problem. And I don't mean that, I don't say that to be rude, or I'm not trying to sound like an asshole, but you've got to commit to a program. You wouldn't recommend a restaurant to a friend that you've never been to. It just doesn't make sense. So if people aren't seeing that you're doing these programs, they ask you about it and you have nothing to tell them, why would they buy from you? You want to be a product of the product, which is one of the vital behaviors. By using the programs, getting results, that's a really big one. You can't just be working out and not getting results. You have to take before and after pictures. You have to commit to the program. You have to commit to the meal plan, get results, Share your entire journey publicly, what you're doing, why you're doing it, how you are feeling, changes you're noticing, successes you're having, struggles, all of that. Share it all. But with whatever you're sharing, I always encourage you to share your entire life, not because you're not just Beachbody. You're a person who likes to do other things than work out and drink Shakeology. But you have to be sharing your fitness journey on top of that. That has to be a part of it, because if you go to a store and you're expecting to go to a clothing store, but all of a sudden there's all these pictures of football gear, you're not going to go to that store because you went there for other clothes, not just football gear. If that makes sense. That might have been a terrible analogy, but you know what I mean. You have to be sharing your fitness journey, because that's what you have to offer people, is a life-changing experience through health and fitness. Okay, the next one is personal development. If you are not doing this, basically the sooner the better. You have to get your mind right, you have to get your attitude right, and you have to believe that you can. I know so many people still don't believe, and they are doing personal development, but it will come. You have to stay consistent. You have to learn as you go, reflect on what you're doing wrong and learn from it. And if you're not doing personal development and you look back at what you've done wrong, chances are that you're probably going to give up because your mind's not right, your attitude's not right. So you have to be doing personal development. I know it took me so long to finally commit to personal development. And when I did, that's when I hit Success Club 30. That's when I saw a 10 times increase in my income. That's when I started to believe in myself. That's when my post started getting a bunch of likes, and everything just kind of went uphill from there when I started doing personal development. So things like listening to the National Wake Up Call. This is not something that you can say, I'm listening to the National Wake Up Call, that was my weekly personal development. No, that's not how it works. That's part of your personal development. But listening to the National Wake Up Call, picking and listening to a podcast, listening to books on audio, reading a physical book, whatever it may be, 15 minutes a day minimum. But, I hear a lot of excuses that I don't have time. I know a lot of you drive to and from work. So if that's the only time that you have, then turn the music off and play an audiobook, or plug it into your auxiliary cord and play that, or listen to a bunch of the previous National Wake Up Calls. That's one thing that I really did getting into personal development, is I listened to a ton of the previous National Wake Up Calls. That really got me like, okay, I want to do this. I can do this. I'm going to do this. So anything like that, but 15 minutes a day minimum, you have to be doing personal development. Okay, let's get to it. I am going to try to get out of this real quick. We're slowing down. Crap. Kels, can you still hear me? If you can, unmute yourself and tell me.
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay.
I can see your mouse moving. I just not going off of share screen.
Huh. Okay, well, I have 2 laptops in case this were to happen, which it did happen. What's happening? Well, if someone's watching this recording, I'm sorry. Okay, well, while this is loading, there we go.
There we go.
What I want to do right now is talk about goals. And Kelsey, you're the only one on the call right now. Shannon texted me that she had an emergency and had to go. But if you're listening to this recording, I want you to pause it after I say what I'm about to say. And I want you to set a goal. So whether it's a Success Club goal, a financial goal, you want to add X number of coaches, whatever it may be, I want you to set some goals. And then I'll go through the rest of the content. And then at the end, we're going to reevaluate those goals. Maybe it'll be the same thing. Keep me logged in. Oh, I hope I don't lose you. You can still hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So whether it's a Success Club goal, financial goal, whatever it is, just write down some goals. And I want to encourage you to set big goals. So this month I set some really, really big goals. but I know they're doable. I know that they're going to be hard. It's going to take work for me to get to them. So think about the time that you have to, what is doable, but really stretch your goal. Because the higher goal, and if you're thinking about it every day to reach that goal, the more likely you're going to work. And maybe you won't reach that goal. That's okay. I've set plenty of really high goals that a lot of times I didn't even come close to reaching. But the higher the goal, the harder you're going to work, the more likely you're just going to do better than what you've been doing. So I'm going to mute myself and just take like a minute. I'm going to try to make sure this doesn't freeze again. Okay, and give me a thumbs up whenever you're ready. Take as much time as you're ready. Okay, so I have mine, and I'll definitely share mine at the end too. Okay, I'm gonna keep on going. Okay, first things first is tracking. If you're not tracking, you really don't have a business, because you don't even have to be organized to be tracking, but you have to be tracking in some sort, who you've been talking to, who you're going to invite, new people you've added, whatever it may be. You have to be tracking the stuff that you're doing. And when I started out, I used pen and paper. It was messy. It probably changed notebooks 5 or 6 times, maybe even more. I was always changing it up or always starting over, but I was still tracking. So things like pen and paper, Google Sheets is what I use now, or Excel. I prefer Google Sheets because you can get the app on your phone and it saves automatically, versus Excel can get deleted off your hard drive or whatever it may be. Teamsy is a paid one, but that's a one that you can use if you just don't know where to start. Streak is another one I haven't dabbed into, or if you just want good old Microsoft Word, that's fine too. Pick something, try it out for a little while. If it doesn't work, maybe try something else, but definitely pick something and just go with it. 1 in 10. So on average, 1 out of every 10 person is going to say yes. And so if that's the average, that 1 in every 10 person is going to say yes, and you want to hit Success Club 6, then you need to be talking and inviting at least 1 person a day every month to get 3 yeses. But that's not guaranteed. That's just on average. It's probably more like 1 in 15 or 1 in 20, just because it's becoming more and more prevalent, or more people are knowing about it. So just kind of keep that in mind. Okay, if this many people out of this many people is going to say yes, how many people do I need to talk to? You really got to start breaking it down to hit those bigger goals, or even to hit those smaller goals, those first big wins that you want, right? So who do you know? Who should I invite? I don't know who to talk to, whatever. Think of people who you know that you know would benefit from this. I'm not just saying, not just trying to make a sale, not just this person probably needs this, but someone that that you know would truly benefit from this, that truly needs this, this would truly change their life. I guarantee everyone on this team knows a handful of people like that. These are the people that I've reached out to second. I first reached out to my friends and family, but then I really thought about the people that I know that would benefit from this. And I just started a genuine conversation with them. I started connecting with them. Just think of people you know and make a list of them, of who would benefit from this. Other people to invite or connect with, or are good friends and family. That should be your warm market, people that you're comfortable with, people who know, like, and trust you. I've had my mom, my brother, my dad, a couple other family members sign up just to help me. I said, hey, this would really help me out, but I also think you'd really benefit from this, blah, 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 whatever. And they were willing to help me out, and they also benefited from it. So, if you don't, you don't know if you don't ask. So don't leave anyone out. Ask everyone, especially the people that you know, you're good friends with, your family, because you never know. And don't, I'm going to pause there. And yeah, so you don't know if you don't ask. Growing your network. On Facebook, how do I grow my network? How many people? All this kind of stuff. So on Facebook, you can go to suggested friends. If you go on from your phone, those of you, if you're watching the recording, so open the Facebook app on your phone, and I have an iPhone, so if you don't have an iPhone, this might be different, but the 3 lines at the bottom, go to friends, and then the top left, click on suggested friends. I'm not sure if you could really see that, but those are the suggested friends. You can go to your friends' Facebook friends lists and go through people on there who you think you would be friends with. You can add yourself into groups and just start connecting with people on groups. And if you feel like there's a connection between you guys, shoot them a friend request. Or this is something that I knew for a little while but never really played around with it, and I'm still not 100% sure. But in the Facebook search bar, you can type friends of friends who. So I've done this a couple times, and so you can do like friends of friends who hike, friends of friends who are moms, friends of friends who, stuff like that. And it'll pull up people. It's a little harder to navigate, or I haven't figured it out yet, but that is another option. On Instagram, using hashtags and scrolling through people that you think you would connect with. You can search like Kansas City and then touch on places, and then people who have pinned Kansas City will show up in there. And then people who like your posts, go ahead and go over to their pages on Instagram, like and comment on their stuff, and shoot them a follow. Again, always be tracking this. And when growing your network, there's a couple things that I really, really want you to keep in mind. This is something that just in the past 2 weeks, I have really narrowed in on, because this is kind of a struggle that I've had. And so I've really narrowed in on it. And I think that you all would benefit from it too, is when you're adding people, whether it's through suggested friends, friends of friends, groups, wherever it is, don't add them just to try to get a sale. I did this for a long time where I was just adding anyone and everyone. I was like, I ain't leaving anyone out, just add. And then I would go and I had nothing to connect with them about. So when I wasn't a mom, I would be adding people who were moms who I had nothing in common with. I wasn't pregnant at the time. I didn't have a kid at the time. I had nothing else in common with. So it was silly of me to add them. I went through adding a bunch of people that were in sororities. And sometimes you will find these people and you will have something in common with them, but for the most part, I was never part of a sorority. They were significantly younger than me. I just had nothing in common with them. So if you don't have anything in common with these people, if you can't think of something to start a conversation with them about, you shouldn't add them, because you're probably not going to connect very well. It'll be harder to get them to know, like, and trust you. If you message them, it's probably going to be like a spammy cold message. Just don't do that. Try to add people who you genuinely feel a connection with, who you genuinely think, I would honestly be really good friends with this person outside of Facebook world. So keep that in the back of your mind when you're adding people. So for example, now when I'm looking at people, I look for people who maybe were part of a wedding party. I am going to be in my brother's wedding come next month, who are recently engaged or are married, who are moms, who are young moms, who are into sports, like not just any sport. Like I played basketball, I played volleyball, a couple sports that I'm really knowledgeable on, who are like actively playing it, and maybe post about it. I add people who are into fitness. My goal is not always to sign them up as a coach, but I can relate with them on that, and we can talk about it, and maybe down the road coaching will come up, but if not, I got another good friend. So have a reason to be adding people when you're adding them. Scroll with purpose. When you're scrolling your newsfeed, I don't so much scroll my newsfeed anymore. I used to. But you get caught up on all these articles and videos and all this stuff. When you're scrolling on your newsfeed, first of all, don't comment on, or if you do comment on a shared post or something like that, it's not going to help with your traction. So when you're scrolling, girl crush on people, literally compliment them, ask them questions, because if you ask a question and they respond to it, that helps your traction with each other. So then Facebook views you more as friends than if you were to just comment on it. So try to ask a question and get a response, or, don't just like something though, because that doesn't matter at all. That doesn't tell Facebook that you're friends, that they should show you guys on each other's news feeds. The comments are what matter. And the more comments, the better. The more you're going to show up on each other's news feed, the more Facebook's going to view you as friends, the better chance of building that connection quicker. So when you're scrolling, scroll with a purpose and the intention of just girl crushing on people and making people feel happy, feel good, and then they're going to be nice back to you. Invite. Don't spam people. We'll talk more about inviting later, but first of all, don't spam people. We were at a Super Saturday recently, and one thing that I talked to a couple coaches about, and one thing in common with all of these like top millionaire coaches is that they don't send cold messages. What does that mean? That means where you add someone and then shoot them a message right away saying, hey, join my group, or, without talking to them ever and just inviting them. So try to build a connection. This really has helped me a lot in the past. I mean, some people do really well with cold messaging, but they're not getting good coaches. They're not growing their team as much, and they're not growing to the top because they're just getting people who they don't actually connect with. If you don't invite, people don't know you have something for them to offer. I know I've said this numerous times, but I can't say it enough. You have to be inviting people. People don't just magically show up on your doorstep. You have to be inviting people. And this can be something like a private message after you've connected with them, friends and family, call to action. So, and I like to use the jab, 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 right hook concept. So the jabs are like sharing your fitness journey a few days in a row. And then your right hook is your call to action, like actually asking for business. Like, all right, ladies, I'm looking for 5 to 10 people to join me. We're gonna be doing this, this, and that. Message me if you're interested. I would not post that exact thing, but you're asking for business. So at the end, when you want to give people a specific thing to do, whether it's click the link in the comments if you have like a link for application, or interested, shoot me a message for more information so they know what to do next. Something like that at the end of your call to action. But be specific, tell them what they're getting out of it, what you have to offer, kind of thing. And I try to do something catchy at the beginning, whether it's like I'm looking for 10 people. Something like that. It doesn't have to be that. It can be really anything. You can use events. I did this a couple times and I've gotten a few people out of them, but I've kind of gotten away from it. I'm not against it at all. I think events are great. So if you create an event on Facebook and you invite a bunch of people to it, and you're just one day for a week, you just talk about what you're going to be providing in your next challenge group. We have over $6,000 worth of fitness programs. The fitness programs vary from high impact, low impact, dance programs, dance cardio, Pilates, yoga, muscle building. Tell people like what kind of programs they are. We're going to be drinking the superfoods shake, so it's going to be an entire meal that's every vitamin, nutrient, mineral that you need throughout your day. You're going to be feeling good. It's got digestive enzymes, prebiotics, probiotics. Talk about Shakeology a little bit. You're going to be provided with a complete meal plan and the portion control system that's super simple to follow, so you don't have to count calories. So this is the kind of stuff that you can talk about in your events or on your public call to action. And then free groups. If you want to run a free group, invite people to your free group and then ask for business later for a paid group. So it can be, maybe you have a free 5-day clean eating group if you're good with food, or maybe you have a free 7-day fitness group that you just kind of provide 30-minute workouts a day for 7 days, or a free mindset group where you have everyone get this book and you're all reading this book, or it can be like a free DIY group if you're into DIY. It can be anything that you're interested in. That way you build a connection there, and then it's more natural, more comfortable going into asking for business for them to join your challenge group. You have to be inviting. Follow up. Statistically, people don't agree to something until the 7th to 12th time hearing it. So basically, if they don't say, no, get out of my face, that just means not right now. Don't give up on them. You have to keep following up with people, whether, you invited them and they didn't really get back to you, and then you come back around to them. It's just like, hey, how was your summer? How are things going? Kind of re-sparking that connection, and then maybe going back into it. I asked you this a few months ago. You didn't really get back to me. If you're not interested, seriously, no worries. I just really think you would benefit from it. Can I send you more information? That can be a follow-up. Or if someone was interested before but didn't really bite the bullet because something was coming up. Hey girl, how was your summer? Long time no talk. How have you been? Or whatever your conversation may be. Then, listen, I know you were super excited when we talked before, and I could tell you just really seemed like you really wanted to do it. I'm getting another group of ladies together, and I just really wanted to reach out again. Is this a better time? Easy peasy follow-up. It doesn't sound yucky. It's not like in your face, like buy this from me, but you have to follow up with people. The A to Z system, I know I've taught every single one of you the A to Z system, but this is truly what started getting me Success Club 10 plus, is I was doing the A to Z system. So I was liking, commenting on everyone's stuff. I was connecting with people that I had forgotten about. I was inviting people that I had forgotten about. And if you're not sure, message me. I will show you how to do this. But this is like my jam. This is what I use to follow up with people. Or if I'm just kind of sitting doing nothing, I'll do this, and I'll just start liking and commenting on people's stuff so that I'm showing up on more people's news feeds. But this is like my jam, the A to Z system. Utilizing friends lists, adding new friends who accept your request into these lists, any prospects that you're like, oh, I think this person would be great. I don't feel like we've built a great connection yet. I'm going to add her into this friends list. I'll show you how to do those in just a minute, but these are really good to keep liking and commenting on people's stuff so that they keep showing up on your newsfeed and vice versa. Okay. This is huge. I'm gonna try and escape. Okay. 60 to 90 days from now, I had to escape because I couldn't see your guys' face. And this is just super, like, it seems like so dumb to put so much emphasis on, but I can't put enough emphasis on this. Okay. Okay, you have to have patience in this business. I started, and I was very, very inconsistently hitting Success Club for the first, like, almost 2 years until I started to do these activities every single day. And what I mean 60 to 90 days from now is that the work that you put in now, you will be rewarded for in 60 to 90 days. So if it hasn't been 60 to 90 days since you've started doing these behaviors or these activities every single day, then it's coming. But if you have not been doing these activities every single day, it's not gonna come. You have to start now. And if you're like, oh, I've been doing like 3 to 4 days, that doesn't count. It's being consistent every single day at minimum 5 days a week. Minimum 5 days a week, and just at least doing the bare minimum, which I'll tell you what I was doing before towards what I'm doing now as far as numbers with everything. But the work that you put in now, whether it's like putting your heart into it or just kind of tiptoeing, that's what's going to show up in 60 to 90 days from now. Naturally. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to share with you my numbers when I first decided, okay, I'm going all in. This is my full-time job. This has to work for me. So when I first started, I'm going to share you my numbers then versus what I'm doing now. Okay, so for personal development, starting out, this is when I first was like, okay, I have to be doing this personal development thing. I just did 1 chapter a day. And that was it. Sometimes it took me more than 15 minutes. Sometimes it took me less than 15 minutes, honestly. But I started out doing 1 chapter a day. Now I do 2 hours of personal development a day. That is how strongly I believe in personal development and how much I think that it really makes a difference in my productivity. So I do 2 hours a day of personal development. For as far as programs, starting out, I committed all the way through, and now I still commit all the way through. Since I decided that I was going all in, I have not gone more than 1 day in between programs. So that's just something that's never changed for me. I've always been really good about that part of it, which I think being a product of the product is that the vital behaviors are all vital, but this one just makes sense that every coach should do. Growing my network, starting out, I only added 5 new people a day. That's it. And not everyone accepts your friend request, so sometimes it was 1, sometimes it was none because no one accepted my friend request. Now I do about 20 a day, and that's 10 on Facebook and 10 on Instagram. So I'm not doing any like super crazy numbers just because I'm trying to really, really dig down and be able to connect with people. And I know if I'm adding too many people, that I'm going to get overwhelmed and I can't connect with people. And I know that one of my weaknesses is connecting with people. I'm not good at connecting with people. I'm not good at starting conversations. I'm really awkward. So because I know that's my weakness, I took the numbers down and I'm working on it. And then once I get good at this, or once I feel more comfortable, more confident, then I'm going to probably add more. But right now, this is what I'm not even necessarily comfortable. This is out of my comfort zone, connecting with even 10 people a day. But I know it's something that I need to work on, that I struggle with. So that's what I do now, and it will grow. Invites, starting out, I did 3 to 5 new invites a day, and now I do 10 to 15 invites a day. And this is whether it's people that have accepted my friend request, I've connected with, and now invited them. Or these are people that I've come across through the A to Z system that I somehow missed them, and I will shoot them an invite that way. Follow-ups, starting out, I also did 3 to 5 follow-ups a day, and now I do 20 to 30 follow-ups a day. These are people that I've already connected with, I've already invited, and now it's just a matter of going back, seeing how they're doing, and saying, hey, is this something you're still interested in? Okay, now let's talk about you. I want you to write down, what is your Success Club goal this month? And then we can, you can either choose to share it with me or don't have to share it with me in the chat. Either one is totally fine. I'm not going to make you share it with me, but I want you to set a goal. And Shannon, you weren't on the call when I was saying this, but I want you to set your goal higher than SC6. I want you to set it, I'm trying to open up the chat. Oh, okay. That was from the beginning. Okay. Oh, Kelsey, that's a really awesome goal. Damn. Okay. You guys are awesome. So for those of you watching the recording, Kelsey's goal is Success Club 20 for her and 10 for Austin. She runs her boyfriend's account. Excuse me. And Shannon's goal is Success Club 15. I'm going to say 16 because you get 2 points. But fair enough. So that's awesome. Wow. Okay. Now, if you don't have an income goal, that is fine. But if you do, I want you to write it down. Kelsey said 1,000. That's a really awesome goal, Kelsey, and I absolutely think you can do it. And a nice thing too, while you guys are thinking of your goals, is when you build your team, you start to earn, or when you hit Emerald, you start to earn team cycle bonuses off of like your team and the volume that they produce. So that's the importance of always inviting to the coaching opportunity too. I'm blowing up over here. Shannon said 500. That would be a really awesome start, Shannon. I think that's a great goal. Okay. Ads. How many people a day? Maybe it's just Monday through Friday that you add new people, but whatever it is, the days that you work your business, how many ads each day do you want to? How many new people do you want to add to your network? 20 for Kelsey. 30 for Kelsey. Okay, Kelsey changed to 30. Shannon, 10. That's a great number. That's totally fine because you're still, kind of learning everything and getting into it. So that 10 ads a day is a good number. Invites. How many invites a day? Is there new people that you've never invited before? Shannon said 5 to 8. Kelsey said 15. That's awesome. Okay, and follow-ups. How many follow-ups a day do you want to do? Kelsey said 40 follow-ups. And Shannon 10 to 15. Okay, those are really good numbers. And now you have to commit to those numbers. And the last slide I have here is let's crush this month. We're going to crush this month. I'm going to stop sharing. But okay, so now that you have those numbers, you thought about those numbers, I want you to think back to, okay, 1 in 10 people are going to say yes. And maybe you need to modify these numbers a little bit. One thing I used to do, I still do, is, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, is on my phone, I do weekly updates, or I have like a weekly goal. So this week, my goal is to earn $500 just this week, get a PS coach to Emerald, and hit SC 10 plus. I can tell you I'm not there, but if I don't shoot for big goals, I'm not going to get anywhere near. So that's one thing that I do. Another thing I do sometimes is I'll put Post-it notes on my laptop because I know I'm going to open my laptop every day. Whatever your goals are, you need to make sure they're in your sight, because if you're not seeing them, if they're not even in the back of your mind at all, then you're not going to work for it. Okay, do you guys have any questions? Was this beneficial at all? Do you kind of feel at ease, like breaking the numbers down a little bit, and you don't have to work, like I work a lot in the day. I shouldn't even say that. I work in little spurts of the day because I'm home with Blair, and I'm not sending like 100 messages a day. I do a lot of personal development. I do a lot of liking and commenting to get me showing up on people's stuff. And that's a lot of what I do. And the other stuff, I probably spend an hour, maybe an hour and a half of sending messages. That part is like super important, but that's not where I spend the majority of my time. Yeah, and seeing the before and after numbers, and the reason that my numbers are getting higher is because I've been doing it for so much longer. I'm getting more confident. It's getting a little easier the more I practice it. So yeah, the better you get, the more natural it starts to feel, the more income you're making, and then you're just like, oh, I want to make more. It gets a little easier to do. So don't get discouraged for if you have lower numbers. You got to start somewhere. Okay, thank you guys so much for hopping on this call. I'm still trying to figure out what topic I'm going to do next week. I'm going to do an Instagram training. I'm trying to think if with it next week still kind of being at the beginning of the month, if I still want to do that next week or something else. So if you guys have ideas, go ahead and post them in the team page. Otherwise, I will talk to you guys later.